What's up, you guys? Chet-Guthrie, the Dream Poet here, coming to you all from beautiful Collegedale, Tennessee. Here in Collegedale, in front of me, or I should say behind me, is McKee Foods. This is one of the 6 or 7 plants that are here in the United States. Some of them are out west and some of them are here. If I'm not mistaken, this is one of the very first plants. This is the plant that O.D. and Ruth McKee managed from the 70s up until his death. I do know that second and third generation McKees are the ones who manage all of this right here. And actually the little Debbie herself, up until maybe about this time back in November, she retired, but she was vice president of operations here at McKee Foods. But today, guys, we are here to talk about the story of O.D. McKee and his wife Ruth, and what a simple idea, selling 5-cent cakes out of the back of his 1928 Widowmaker. This blossomed an idea that essentially became an American staple, the Little Debbie. So anyway, guys, we are going to go to their store, which is right down the road. So without further ado, you guys, let's do this. Anchor down. We are here now at the Little Debbie store. I believe this store was created sometime around, I want to say, the mid-2000s. But anyway, you guys, I figured I would tell you all a little bit about a brief history of about how Little Debbie came to be. You see, it was the heart of the Great Depression. O.D. McKee and his wife Ruth McKee, they were struggling. They had lost out a substantial amount of money from one of the banks that they were in, and what they did is they came here into the Chattanooga area, and that's when they decided that they would start selling sweets. To be more specific, they were selling from a group called Jack's Cookie Company. And throughout the heart of the Great Depression, O.D. McKee, he would sell these cakes that were around 5 cents a piece to people out of the back of his 1928 Whippet. And from there, that's where he got the idea to start a, well, cake company, or sweets, goodies, if you will. Now, it was after this that after the 1930s, 1934, O.D. McKee was not satisfied with the way how things were going with Jack's Cookie Company. Now, it was a small bakery that they purchased, the McKees, and honestly, O.D. McKee's father-in-law, he did not agree with what was going on. So O.D. and his wife, they decided to sell everything, and that is when they went to Charlotte, North Carolina, and they started all over again. Now, around the 50s, Ruth and O.D., they would come back to the Chattanooga area because Ruth's brother was very sick and he was dying. The McKees, they renamed the factory here in the Collegedale area from King's Bakery to McKee Bakery, the McKee Bakery Corporation. And it was around in the 1960s when O.D. was trying to rebrand what would become Little Debbie, the McKee Family Foods. He was sitting at his desk. He didn't really know what to do, but he saw a picture of his granddaughter, Ruth McKee. Well, that's when he got the idea. He took this picture of his granddaughter and he sent it to artist Pearlman in Atlanta, Georgia. And that is how we have the present day Little Debbie logo. So before we go inside, you guys, I figured we would check out this old school truck and this trailer, which surprisingly has a very, very interesting history. Here it states on this marker right here, this was the first trailer used to transport our cakes. O.D. and Ruth McKee bought it new in 1953. The 1953 tractor, while not the original, is identical to it. With such a roadworthy combination, Ellsworth McKee and numerous other drivers hauled many loads of wooden trays filled with layer cakes, orange Chipton cakes, angel food cakes, fruit cakes, and large jelly rolls. Before its retirement about 1970, this trailer also carried many cardboard cases and Little Debbie snack cakes. So, as it said in the marker, this is the very first trailer that carried Little Debbie's across the United States. McKee Cakes, McKee Baking Co., Collegedale, Tennessee. It all started here, you guys. And now this tractor right here, this truck, as it said in the marker, this is not the original, but it is very close to the original of what it would look like. So you gotta think, this was the very first that would take Little Debbie's everywhere, thus spawning a United States tradition. So let's go inside, you guys. Alrighty guys, here at the Little Debbie store here in Collegedale, they also sell a lot of Little Debbie foods, but they also have these really cool mugs and other merchandising as well. Let's check that out. Or these Little Debbie mugs as well. Now just remember, this is Ruth McKee Fowler, and this is when she was about 8 or 9 years old when that portrait was made. Also kind of like that mug too. They have the brownies, they've got the currant cream pies, the Nutty Buddy is my favorite, and the Swiss cake rolls. I also dig these hats too. These have the Little Debbie logo on it. It looks like they've got a few shirts too. I kind of wonder if they have anything that's just specifically to each brand. Kind of like this zebra cake hat right here. Actually, I really like that zebra cake. That's pretty nice. And it also looks like you can get a patch too. So I guess if you're a Boy Scout or something like that, yeah, you can have those. Okay, now this is very creative. They have oatmeal cream pie socks. Yes. By the way, did you all know that oatmeal cream pies are the oldest brand that Little Debbie sells? Also, they have Nutty Buddy socks. That is epic. Or these shirts right here. Again, that's an older brand. Not an older brand, an older logo, I think. Well, if not, I mean, that's still really cool. They also have a Drake's Cakes logo as well. That is old, from the early days of what became Little Debbie. And did you all know that Little Debbie McKee, they own the Sunbelt Bakery, Fieldstone, and Heartland. So yeah, McKee Foods, they own a lot of other well-known brands. Just in case if y'all didn't know. Oh dude, now this is sweet. Check this out. Since it just recently, since Valentine's Day just recently ended, they have Hearts and Nutty Buddies. One of the greatest things ever. This. Oh yes, and you can never forget the honey bun. Okay, now this might be a personal favorite of mine. They they sell Sherpa blankets with the McKee Family Bakery logo on it. And right here, they have a 1,000-piece puzzle. Little Debbie's, Fieldstone, Fairy City, all the good stuff that would give a person diabetes, but that's okay, because Little Debbie is awesome. Well, this is very interesting. This bobblehead right here that is in this glass, yes, that is a Little Debbie in an astronaut suit. It was launched into space on March 19th, 2014. Apparently it would it landed in Waynesville, North Carolina, just west of Asheville, and it traveled almost 100,000 feet, or essentially about 200 miles into space. And now this store would not be a Little Debbie store if it did not have Little Debbie's, as far as the eye can see. And just because the oatmeal cream pie is the oldest thing that has been continuously sold by McKee, we are going to buy one of these. And I'll show you all why in the not so distant future. And outside, you guys, as I was talking about how this photo, or a photo of Odie's granddaughter, inspired the logo, this is the original photo right here from 1959. And this is the logo illustration that was made in 1963. So very similar, not a whole lot of difference other than one was painted and the other wasn't. And right here is a picture of Odie and his granddaughter, Little Debbie. This was made in 1963, and you can see that Little Debbie is holding up I believe a logo or a picture of herself. And now this is really cool what's up on the wall here. On the left is a picture of Odie. He died in 1995, and well, Ruth King McKee, she passed away in 1989. So not far from each other. Lovers in this life and in the next. You see, Odie was very much a man who loved to take risks. Ruth, on the other hand, she was a very conservative person, and this duo is the reason why we probably have this really great company that exists to this day. And now right here they have some original photos from the production lines in the early 70s. For a while there I looked at it and I honestly thought it was a painting, but I was wrong. This photo was taken in the early 1970s, and this one right here was taken in 1965. Shows what plant life was like at McKee Foods. And I just love how it keeps going on and on and on of nothing but Little Debbie's. By the way, did you all know that this idea right here was revolutionary for its time? Ellsworth McKee is the one who came up with the idea to sell Little Debbie's in these type of packages. So you can thank him, because at the time nobody had really thought of this. Cheap cakes in a really big box. So you can thank him, because, well, this idea started with the McKees, and it has only continued further and further. You know what? I have not had a devil dog in forever. And now this right here is really cool. This is a timeline of Little Debbie and Drake's Cakes. 1888. This is the big year Newman D. Drake developed the pound cake recipe and visited the English bakery. So yeah, this kind of tells the story of how this company came to be. Well, you guys, got myself a Diet Coke and an oatmeal cream pie. But unfortunately, the 1928 Whippet that was a replica of O.D. McKee's, that is no longer at the Corker Tire Museum. It is actually at the corporate office. And if you wanted to go to the corporate office, you have to get an ID or a badge. So unfortunately, we cannot go there, but we will go to the next best place. We will go to the grave of a legend. We are going to the grave of O.D. and his beautiful beloved wife, Ruth. Flag flying in the memory of American heroes. So we're getting pretty close, you guys. By the way, look how beautiful that American flag is. But before we head up there to the grave, check this one out. This one is Donald Ray Wood, born February 17, 1940, died June 16, and his wife Craigie Ruth, born September 21st, 1929. I imagine that they did something pretty great. They are together forever, buried right under the American flag. Now, I went down to the office to ask where O.D. was buried, and it took him a little while. Apparently it was an older question because he passed away in 1995, so I guess it'd be kind of hard because they don't have a modern card to go with it. But we're honestly not that far. I mean, there's the family marker. So I think, well, from what I was reading, it's not that far off. It's just up this hill right here. And here it is, the grave of a man and his wife who created an American icon, the Little Debbie cake. Yes, OD right here, passed away in 1995. Ruth, who passed away in 1989. Simple people with a simple dream that turned into an absolutely epic piece of history. American iconography. And a family whose love that exists generations and generations till after, well, long after they have passed away. And because of these legends right here, I'm going to pay tribute by eating the oldest, well, Little Debbie product ever sold and is still being continuously sold to this day, the oatmeal cream pie. And I grew up on these things. I've been eating these things since I was a little kid. So, OD, Ruth, thank you all very much. Much love from the other side. Thank you guys for having that dream. Well, you guys, that was a very interesting vlog. I kind of wish that I could have seen the 1928, what do you call it? Anyway, the 1928 vehicle that OD sold the precursor to Little Debbie's out of, although it is a replica. It's really cool. It was at the Corker Tire Museum here in Chattanooga, but looks like it went to McKee family headquarters, or Little Debbie. But anyway, you guys, this is going to be another vlog for another day. This was a fun one, a very delicious one. But anyway, guys, remember, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Always means a lot. Goes to show that y'all care and that y'all want to see more awesome videos. So without further ado, you guys, vlog over.